Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is The Corner Bookstore. And today we're celebrating children all across the world, celebrating them and their families, because our book series today is all about teaching children and their families how to listen at an elevated level. And today we'll be featuring the amazing adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor book series. So get ready for some fun and get ready to learn. A little bit of background. So I, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, started my writing career as an author in 2021 when I published my first book, Behind the Green Screen. And from there, I published Adversity to Awesome, and then started focusing more on listening skills with my role as the listening mentor. So together with some incredible people, we have helped create this book series, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella. You can actually see the book. You see there's a lot of green. So when I put it up against the green screen, you can't see those parts. But I wanted to let you know that the book series is dedicated to a very special person. Her name is Lady Ella, and she is my great niece. And so with her in mind and with children all across the world in mind, we dedicate these books to you. So as I mentioned, there's a team of us who have worked on these books and different individuals on different books. But the main people who are in every book are an incredible illustrator. And I'm going to be speaking about him. His name is Muhammad, as well as my co-authors, Mariska and Madeline, and of course, our fabulous book coach and editor, Red. So let's get right to it. In this first book, which right now there are 3 books available in print. Here's the second book, Lady Ella's ABCs of Listening. And the third book is Lady Ella Has Afternoon Tea in London. The 4th book is available in pre-order, as is the 5th book. So in this very first book, Lady Ella is a special ladybug. And why is she so special? She's special because Grand Beetle has given her this beautiful necklace with her name on it, because she has special listening skills, and she travels to different parts of the world and beyond to help animals and creatures learn how to listen at an elevated level. So let's start talking today about this particular book. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit so you have an understanding. I'm going to read from the first 2 pages. Lady Ella loves to travel. Today, she's continuing her amazing adventure as the listening mentor. Grand Beetle gave her a gold necklace with her name, Ella. She has been teaching animals across the world how to listen better. Lady Ella lives in Ladybugville. She earned her gold wings because she really knows how to listen to other animals and make them feel special. Gentle Farm is one of her favorite places to visit. Animals live there in the forest and on the farm. Lady Ella flies in and out and talks to her best friend, Tara, the white owl. And there you can see Tara. Oops, there you can see Tara and the ladybug. Now, something that I want you to know before I go any further is that each of the animal characters on our book covers represent real people. So you can see the book cover here. You can see more clearly because the books all have green in them. You can see the animals there. Each animal represents someone who took my course, The Power of Listening, to learn how to listen at an elevated level. So Tara, in this case, the white owl, Tara is Caroline Heward, the Harley Street stress expert. And let me show you her picture. All of the animal character creators are featured in the book. So here's Caroline, and there's Tara, the white owl. So a little bit about Caroline, because she's portraying the white owl, the owl's portraying her. She's known as the Harley Street stress expert. She was awarded an Ambassador for Peace in 2019 by the Universal Peace Federation. She's an author, international speaker, educator, coach, and mentor, certified trainer and expert in behavioral change, the psychology of human behavior, and communication. Caroline is somebody you definitely want to reach out to. You can contact her here for more information. It's her website, which is www.stress-express.com. So now that you know a little bit about Caroline and you know about Tara, the white owl, let me continue reading. "Hi, Tara, how are you?" asked Lady Ella. Tara said, "Lady Ella, the farm animals are off grazing, but the wild animals are upset. They hear noises coming from the barn." "Oh my," said Lady Ella, "the farm is always so quiet and gentle." Tara said, "Let's talk to Errol, the wild horse. He can tell you his story." And off they flew to Errol. Here's Errol. So you see Lady Ella, you see Tara, and you see Errol. So who is Errol in real life? Errol is Hyatt Ives. Let's find out a little bit more about Hyatt, and his information is included in the back of this book. Here it is. Hyatt Ives is a public speaker in the use and abuse of English, the English language, what we are doing to denigrate our native tongue. He also is the author of Trade Show Leads Guaranteed, Tricks of the Trade to Assure You Better Trade Show Results. He speaks to civic and professional groups and companies and associations using B2B trade shows. You can contact Hyatt at his website, HyattIves.com. That's his name, HIETTIVES.com. All right, so let's go back to the book. "Hi, Earl," said Lady Ella. "What noises have you heard?" "I heard moo and a clanging sound." "Maybe the barn is falling apart," cried Earl. "We must tell all the animals to run away." "Wait," said Tara. "Let's talk to some of the other animals and hear their stories." Lady Ella says, "Let's see Sicaliza, the white lioness, and talk with her." Tara and Ella fly to Sicaliza, bathing in the sun. So now I'm going to introduce you to Sicaliza, and that'll be the last character in this book because I want you to consider making a purchase. Okay, there's Sicaliza, the lioness. And she is representing Janetta Barry from the Epiphany process. So let's find out more about Janetta. Here she is, and there's Sicaliza. Janetta Barry is a mental health support specialist, corporate trainer, and personal development coach who works through both online consultations as well as face-to-face consultations in Harley Street, London. Due to personal tragedy and loss, Janetta has dedicated her work to healing her life, having walked the walk and talked the talk. This led her to find the basics and expand her work further through the formation of the Epiphany process. Janetta also certifies life coaches in her signature process for applying accurate mental techniques in one's daily life. So you can find out more about Janetta by going to her website, which is here, the Epiphany process.com. TheEpiphanyProcess.com. EPIPHANYPROCESS.com. So that's a little bit of reading from this first book, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella. And I recommend this for 5 to 10-year-olds, but I highly recommend it for parents, family members, anybody who wants to learn more about how to listen at an elevated level. Each of our 3 books that are available in paperback have a lesson to teach children in addition to how to listen at an elevated level. So in this particular book, there is a discrepancy into what's going on, or what's perceived to be going on, between the farm animals and the jungle animals. And so Lady Ella has to help them learn how to communicate by listening at an elevated level. All right, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be back with book number 2. So please do stay tuned. Our first sponsorship is from Diane Floyd Boehm. Let's take a look. USA Global TV and Radio presents international award-winning author, speaker, educator, Diane Floyd Boehm.
I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this special edition of the Corner Bookstore, USA Global TV. And we're talking with the co-host of the Corner Bookstore, Diane Floyd Boehm today, who is herself an author of many books, not just children's books, but also books for adults. Diane, welcome to the Corner Bookstore.
Everyone should have their own library. Even children should start developing their library and know that what happens in a garden, it grows. And I want their library to grow. And never, ever get rid of a book, because what you might have enjoyed as a child reading and having lovely memories of your parents reading as you get older, you'll grow to cherish those books in another way. My specialty is to help people realize that we are all storytellers, and that if you have this yearning to get this story out, but you don't know how to get started, I want to be the person that you can come to, you can feel comfortable with. I'll learn your personality. We'll just go and have itty bitty baby steps, just like in my book, A Time to Fly. Before you know it, the young new author is ready to fly to and go to super professional coaches.
Diane's books are available now at DianneFloydBoehm.com. Charlie and the Tire Swing, How It Began. A Time to Fly. A Song of Peace. Rise, a Girl's Struggle for More. Harry the Camel. The Little Girl in the Moon. The Little Girl in the Moon, Moxie and Tycho Town. Moon League Adventures, The Serengeti.
And I'm saying, go for it.
Welcome back. It's so nice to have you here on the Corner Bookstore, and thank you to our VIP sponsor, Diane Floyd Boehm. We have another person who is new to our team, but not new to me. Her name is Zane Carson Carruth, and she is also an author, and we have a beautiful sponsorship from her as well. So let me play that now, and then we'll continue on with the Lady Ella book series. Thank you, Zane Carson Carruth, our VIP sponsor.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademark series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
Hello, welcome back to the Corner Bookstore here at USA Global TV and Radio. Thank you to our sponsors, Diane Floyd Boehm and Zane Carson Carruth. Interesting, they have 3 names. That's pretty cool. I just realized that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second book in the Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, and this is Lady Ella's ABCs of Listening. Now, you'll notice that on this book cover, we have different animals except for Lady Ella. So we have Crystal the butterfly, and this is Dr. Madeline Chan. We have Testadora, and this is Mr. Alcini. And don't ask me to spell Testadora. We have Olivia the lioness, and this is Mr. Doug Lawrence. And we have here we have 2 bees. So we have Blossom the bee. This is Amina Ramzani, the pet psychic. And we have up here the swallow named Penser. This is Mariska Dupria. And I think that's all. This bee doesn't have a name. So let me start reading here. And again, dedicated to Lady Ella. And here she is at the beach with a little sweetheart. Okay, we're going to start with page 1. So Lady Ella has left Gentle Farm. Remember, she was here on Gentle Farm. And she has now traveled from Gentle Farm to the School of Joy. Lady Ella's favorite time of year is spring. It's the time she goes to the School of Joy near the lake. She loves it because this is where all the animals learn the ABCs of listening, valuable skills lasting a lifetime. All the animals are busy preparing for the school talent show. Lady Ella feels the excitement in the air. The music teacher, Miss Crystal, the butterfly, has everyone's attention and gives them encouragement to do their best. She then dismisses them so they can practice. Blossom the honeybee and Lady Ella go outside to enjoy the fresh air. Lady Ella asks, "What will you be doing in the school talent show?" "I'm practicing my special dance," buzzed Blossom excitedly. "That sounds wonderful," exclaimed Lady Ella. And we can imagine a bee doing a bzzz dance. Okay, as Blossom departs, Olivia the lioness says, "Hello, Lady Ella." "Hello there, Olivia. I notice everyone is getting ready for the talent show." "What will you perform?" Olivia excitedly asks. "A moving painting." "What is that?" asked Lady Ella. And here you can see, of course, there's a lot of green, so you can't see that, but you see Olivia and you see Lady Ella at the School of Joy. "What is a moving painting?" "It's a painting that I do on stage while I move," says Olivia. "I'm calling it the Pounce." "My, that sounds like it would be very special," says Lady Ella. "I hope we can display it in the school after the show." "Yes, that would be fantastic," says Olivia, "and everyone can learn how to listen to their bodies and make their own moving paintings." So hopefully, audience, you are starting to get the picture of what the lesson is here in the book, in addition to learning how to listen at an elevated level. And I'll read one more page, and then I'm going to go to the information about the animal characters and who they're portraying. Lady Ella only moves a few more steps when she sees Testadora the donkey. "Greetings, fair Testadora. What are you doing behind that tree?" asks Lady Ella. "I'm hiding from Miss Crystal," Testadora whispers. "Oh," responds Lady Ella, Why are you hiding? And here we can see Testadora talking to Lady Ella. Okay, so let's go into the back of the book and find out who these animal characters are. So, Crystal the butterfly is Dr. Madeline Chan. Dr. Madeline Chan appeared on ALB UK TV in December 2020 in celebration of her creative life as singer, songwriter, artist, children's novelist, and musical scriptwriter for Star Child. Wow, and guess what, audience? We have Diane Floyd Bay backstage. She's going to join us for the Corner Bookstore. Hello, Diane.
Hi, how are you today?
Great, how are you?
Busy as a beaver. So happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. We just ran your sponsorship, and we just ran one from Zane Carson Carruth also. So thank you so much for being here. And by the way, folks, I made a mistake on the time for the Corner Bookstore today. It's actually an hour later than when I started it. So my apologies, Diane.
No problem. I don't look the greatest for you, but here I am. That's all that counts.
No, you do look great. You know, Diane, I was just thinking about you because as a children's author, young adults author, you have this incredible way of telling a story. And when you read, I was just thinking, while I'm reading, I'm not really reading that great. Like I'm not putting any different voices. What's the skill to mastering reading to children or reading your books aloud?
Oh my goodness gracious. I think for everybody it's different. For me, it comes naturally. I've just always been a person to change my voice up and get excited about little things. And I think being a preschool through 8th grade teacher helped a lot. So, but if people were really to ask, just be enthusiastic and think about how you would want to hear the story and how you want that excitement to come through to the person that you're reading to.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Diane. Do you actually change your voice like this or bring it like this? Or
I do both. Let me tell you, I am not a witch, even if I sound like a.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, today we are going through the Lady Ella book series because we didn't have a guest and probably because we didn't start at the right time. So, but we're moving on to the last book that's in the paperback series. The others are available by ebook. And this one is Lady Ella. She's gone from Gentle Farm and then she went to the School of Joy. And now she's going to the British School of Excellence to have afternoon tea in London. So I'm just going to read a couple of pages. And then, Diane, I'd love to have you comment. So this, again, is the special person for whom all these books were written. Her name is Lady Ella, and she was actually reading her own book, which is
That's so cute.
Princess the Royal Swan is very excited as she's planning a decadent afternoon tea for her friends. Now, Diane, if you were reading that, how might you change that? Prince, can you read it? Can you see it?
Oh, let me put my glasses on. Let's see. Everything helps with glasses, at my age. Let's see. It's very difficult, but I'd say Princess the Royal Swan is very excited, etc. Excited.
She's excited. And Princess is portrayed, Princess the Royal Swan is actually Caroline Heward. So she is Caroline. And also we see Gerald the giraffe, and that's Mr. Philip Sykes. So I'll just read a little bit about them, and then we'll stop with this book series. Okay. Philip Sykes is Gerald the giraffe, and he is leading etiquette trainer and consultant with a global reputation for professional excellence. He has more than 25 years experience of engaging with clients at the highest level to bring transformational power of etiquette and manners to the forefront of their businesses and personal lives. Since establishing the British School of Etiquette in 2013, Philip's expertise has been sought out by royalty, diplomats, presidential staff, and celebrities all over the world. The school now has an international network of partnerships and consultants that extends to the Middle East, China, India, Pakistan, Japan, Brazil, Mexico, USA, South Africa, and Europe. And there's much more. Here's how you can contact the British School of Excellence. It's hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And last one is Caroline, and then Diane and I will have a chat. Okay, here we have, Caroline Heward, the princess, the royal swan. Caroline Heward is the Harley Street stress expert. She was awarded as an ambassador for peace in 2019 by the Universal Peace Federation. Author, which I didn't even know she was an author, by the way, all this time I've known her. Inspirational speaker, educator, coach, and mentor, certified trainer, and expert in behavioral change, the psychology of human behavior and communication. So you can pick up all three of these books on Amazon. The 4th and 5th are available in pre-order. The 6th is finished and it's going to be worked on by the illustrator. And in the 6th one, Lady Ella goes to outer space. So she is leaving Africa and she's going to space. Diane, you have a new project that you've just launched. I can't wait until it's available in paperback so that I can do some book reports on it here. Tell us a little bit about your newest project.
I'll be happy to, but if you don't mind, I'd like to step back and compliment you on your books. Everybody listening, she didn't pay me to say this, but I love your books, Dr. Jacqueline. Not only as a parent, a grandparent, and as a former classroom educator, listening is so important. And actually, listening for people in politics, you have to be able to open your ears and figure out how to make things work. And so we can stay calm. Also, the listening that you provide and instruction helps with comprehension, which is so important, especially when kiddos end up being tested on how much they recall. And so I just want to really compliment you because you're not just writing a book, once a year. You're just really passionate and you're putting it out there so that everyone can learn the difficulty of actually becoming a good listener and achieving that. And I really do admire you. And I love how you bring various people from all walks of life to become one of the animals or characters in your book, because I think it shows a globalness that brings and unites all of us around the world to be good listeners. And so I just really want to tell you that.
Thank you, Diane. That brings tears to my eyes. That's so sweet. And, I just want to address one of the things that you said. When I started out writing these books, it wasn't about making money and it wasn't about some kind of credibility. It really was about teaching people how to listen, because I feel like for a lot of my life, when I was in corporate, I really wasn't listened to. And that's nothing against anybody that I work with or anything. But when you don't feel like you've been listened to, then it's kind of like a priority. And now I automatically just go into mode where I can instantly tell if someone's really listening at an elevated level or if they're asking for permission and setting boundaries. That's something that I think we really, as a humans, we really need to work on, because sometimes we just pick up the phone and call someone and just launch right into a conversation, and they're in the middle of something, or we walk into a room, we start talking to the back of someone's head. So I just think that if we could teach children, then we eliminate decades of undoing all the bad habits.
Absolutely. And I don't know if people realize that I've taken your classes and I've learned a lot from them. Some things I wish I would have realized, that I was closing my ears off and not being a good listener as well, not only as a parent, but as an educator. But the other thing is that the classes that you offer, where we see people doing role play, I just think that's amazing, because there's all different types of learners, and you give that visual and listening skill ability for us to see. And so if anyone has an opportunity to take in your classes, I really highly recommend it, because sometimes you don't realize that you're closing your ears. So for example, if you don't mind me keep talking about it, Dr. Jacqueline, is let's just take a parent role. And Johnny, I worked with him on that test, and I do not understand that his teacher had to call me and blah, 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 blah. When he gets home, I am just going to lay into him instead of finding out what was going on that made him not be able to recall those spelling words. And sure enough, you'll find from your students when they get home and they have an opportunity to share with their parents something that might have happened that made them not be able to concentrate as they normally would be able to. And so we need to just not think, I'm going to be a parent and I'm just going to really show them. We need to take a deep breath, find out the situation, let the child speak, because most likely the child has already beat himself up or herself up before they even walked in the door, and they're already a nervous wreck about talking to you about it. And so listening is very important, and it's not all about, by God, you're going to listen to what I have to say, and I don't want to hear from you. So that's my soapbox.
Diane, that's such a great point, and thank you for bringing that up. We actually have some new role plays, and one of the role plays was a father-daughter, and it was a situation just like that. And the interesting part is that even though these two people were acting, that they felt afterwards how uncomfortable it was. Even though it was an act, they felt like, wow, I think I've been doing this, or this doesn't feel good. So the other thing I wanted to share was that we were teaching the course the other day to some students, and I asked them to rate themselves about what kind of listeners they were. And the majority of a scale 1 to 10, most of them put they were an 8, so that they were an excellent listener. So we always do that. We think we're great listeners, and then we realize, no, there's some things that we actually have to learn. And one of the big ones, as I mentioned before, I think is setting boundaries and asking for permission. Diane, would this be a good time to talk to you about XYZ? It's going to take 15 minutes. Yeah. No, it's not a good time. I'm gardening. I can't, because what people don't realize is if you ask for permission and the person says, actually, I'm in the middle of something, what they're saying is, I can't be highly effective and be here completely for you because I'm already over here doing this, and I want to give you my full attention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so true. And, and that can happen in so many workplaces, Dr. Jacqueline, even in the classroom, when all of a sudden you get a note saying the principal wants to talk to you. Well, I don't know about you, Dr. Jacqueline, even though I'm all grown up, when I would get a note that the principal wants me to come to their office in the middle of a class, I'm like, oh my gosh, I turned into a little kid, It's like going to see your parents, like, oh my God, what did I do wrong, right? And then you find out that you need to go to another school where your child is and pick them up because they don't feel good. But in your mind, you're like, okay, what did I do today? What did I mess up? You're already beating yourself up. So
it's so true. And guess what? When you're beating yourself up and you're coming with that in that frame of mind, you can't listen.
Yes, that's right.
Because you're already internally in here thinking about, okay. So these are great takeaways, Diane. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. So keep it up. And I'm excited about the space one. So we still need to talk about that one.
It's going to be interesting. But I want to go over to you for you to share the work that you're doing.
Sure, I'll be happy to. So hello, everyone, again. Thank you for listening. We really love you. And we want you to, join in the conversation, especially on your YouTube. I think you can send in comments. So I write a lot of children's books. The purpose of my children's books is to inspire you, to embrace imagination, and just have a great time. So my latest book that is in pre-order right now, it's actually released tomorrow. It's the ebook version, and then the paperback and hard copy will follow afterwards. You can purchase it on Amazon and in any of your really stores. They can order it and have a turnover pretty quickly. But also the Amazon in Europe and England and in the Middle East, all of them carry my work. So I'm very honored about that. the curious boomer, the curious bunny, is just, I love all my books, Dr. Jacqueline. I get so excited about each one. But this one's really precious because I was inspired by my grandchild, who's adorable, of course, as our grandparents say. And Boomer, he's happy. He loves being around his other furry bunny family, but he sees a path and he's always watching people go by and he's thinking, I wonder what's down the path. So one day he decides to follow the path and he discovers all these exciting things along the way. And it makes it where little kids are like, get excited too. And the illustrations are just marvelous. Judy Gaudette from Maine has illustrated them, and she just really captured what I was trying to convey to the children. So I just get really excited about them as well. And then all of a sudden, Boomer realizes after a while that he's missing home. But oh my goodness, how do I get back home? So he has to recall what he's seen. And kiddos love having that recall. And it makes it really fun for the person reading, whether a teacher, a loved one, or even a brother or sister reading to another brother and sister, because you get to stop and go, do you remember what Boomer saw next? You can have a lot of fun playing with the story until Boomer is happy, tucked into bed and thinking about what his next adventure might be. So that's what that one's about.
Yay! And the paperback's coming out tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's just the ebook. So Kindle, the ebook's coming out, and I'm really excited about that. And then Amazon lets you do the rest of them afterwards. So
okay,
that will follow very soon. It's just waiting to click that button.
Click the button. I know all about that. Yes. Well, that's very, very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm hoping it makes a lot of people smile. So.
I'm sure. It's funny where I live, even though we're on an island, there are so many bunnies. They're everywhere. I'm thinking, how did they get here? Did they take a boat or did they come over the bridge? They swim in? I don't know.
That's so funny.
Do bunnies swim?
I have no earthly idea. That's a good thing to look at. All I know is that, when mommy bunny has a litter, it's a pretty big litter. It could be 6, 7, or 8.
So maybe there were just 2 bunnies that came on the island and then so on and so on.
Yeah, and they just had fun.
Yeah.
When I say that.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So we have a few minutes left. What have you been doing in terms of your gardening?
Interesting. I thought it's so hot here in Texas right now. You probably heard about the massive heat wave.
Yes.
I'm in the middle part, right in the center, actually. So I'm not suffering as much as the people down in the Big Bend area where it's been getting up to 119 and so forth. But so everybody make sure you stay hydrated. But we are having a heat wave for us. So I'm getting up super early. Maybe not early enough to some people, but 6 o'clock in the morning is pretty early for me. And get out there before the sun just really gets hot and work for a couple of hours. Because as you know, Dr. Jacqueline, I just finished going to 7 different states and having a blast driving. I love driving. And the USA is just so beautiful, so much to see, and everyone's so different depending on where they live. And when I came back home, my beautiful gardens were like the weeds had, oh, yay, she's gone. I'm going to grow. So I've been out there weeding, but I couldn't help it. I was at the nursery yesterday because if I have some flowers, that'll inspire me. And I couldn't help it. I picked up about 10 more things to plant.
Diane, I really admire you, and I'm not going to ask you to go into details, but this labor of love this time and other times has come with a price. And when you told me about the first time, I was thinking, that's the end. She's not going to be planning anymore, but you went right back.
I went right back, yes. So what she's referring to, listeners, is that I got poison ivy, probably the worst that I've ever had it. And it was all over me. If you just can imagine, it was like chicken pox, if anyone's ever experienced that, which really ages me, doesn't it, Dr. Jacqueline? Because now you can get a shot for that. But yeah, I couldn't help it. There's something about gardening. I'm, not a great gardener, but I enjoy it. I love it. I love being in the middle playing with dirt, which I've always done since I was little, making pancake patties with the dirt. But but just being with nature and hearing the birds sing and just tweet all over it, and then the water fountain going, it just inspires me, and I just get very relaxed.
So even though it comes with a price, the benefits are more than the cost.
Yes, so now I wear super long sleeves, socks, super long pants, or before I'd wear shorts in the summertime, have like 2 bottles of water, my hat, my sunglasses, sunscreen. My gloves come up to here, but I still get poison ivy.
Aren't you sweating like with all that on?
Yeah, but I'm drinking tons of water. So,
but those,
sure,
I know. Those rubber gloves, when you start sweating, you're like stuck to you. Are you wearing some material?
The gloves I have, they're really great gardening gloves. I paid, a lot for them, so they breathe, so they don't stick to me. And now I've learned that I need to wash them in super hot water to make sure all the poison ivy that I may not see, which is how I got it before. Or also I learned that there's some leaves that have some sticky goo on it that can cause rashes. So if any of that's still on your gloves, you're in trouble. Where before, again, a gardener wouldn't be laughing right now, but I would just, lay them down and then put the same ones back on. But I have about 4 gloves now, so they all rotate depending on where they are in the wash cycle.
Diane, what does poison ivy look like? I thought it's like green and red or something.
It has those red veins going through them, and I believe it's 3 leaves. You can get poison ivy mixed up with poison oak. So if ever I just see red veins going through a leaf, I'm like, stay away.
But it's not red leaves.
No. It's the veins, that run through the leaves. They'll look so pretty, and you'll just want to touch them and say, oh my goodness, look at those pretty red veins.
I know. I go for a walk every day, usually twice, and I love to walk over this bridge to the next town. And there are all of these weeds that I guess they've tried to keep them back, but they're coming up from the dunes. Mm-hmm. And I always see leaves with red in them, and there's cars coming. So I'm like leaning like this. I don't want to get by the car, and I don't want to touch that. So because I thought of you, and I thought if it has red, stay away.
No, just the veins. So that's just, what the veins are, the thin little thing that carries all the water up to the leaves. So
I didn't know that's what they did. I know what veins do, but I didn't know that's what they did in a leaf. How about that? More education. So just a quick question about the poison ivy and poison oak. Let's say you suspect that it's on your arm. If you do not touch it, will it continue to grow?
That's a great question. It's almost impossible not to touch it because you're going to itch like crazy. But I'll tell you a good tip until you can go get some poison oak or poison ivy liquid to put on you. And they have spray now too. But if you use, if at home you have blue, it has to be the color blue. And I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'll show you just a second, Dr. Jacqueline. Yeah, so it's Blue Dawn. I almost said the wrong name, but it's Dawn. There's something in the Blue Dawn that you can use, and it immediately takes the sting out, and it can stop the poison ivy till you go get the medicine you need. So I always get Blue Dawn. So it is not a paid commercial.
By the way, it might be if someone's going to be gardening, it might make sense to have the Blue Dawn with you right there.
That's a great idea. Maybe I should do that.
Yes. Yeah. Fabulous.
Well, somebody in the Navy taught me that trick.
So do you just put on a little bit of it, or?
Oh, I slather. You only need a little bit, but I'm like, I'm not taking any chances.
Do you go in the dishwasher after that? No. No, you actually couldn't put that in the dishwasher,
Yeah.
right? That would be bad.
Yeah. But I volunteered for the USO for like 14 years. And the Navy people really have some great tips because, they're not only out on the ocean, but they're also doing work when they are inland. And different things can happen to them when they're out in the middle of nowhere. And so they have all these neat little tricks.
That's a good tip. See, people who are watching, you're not only getting to learn about books, you're getting education about gardening, poison ivy, poison oak, and solutions if you end up getting one of them. That's fabulous, Diane.
And if y'all have a garden and you want to share your flowers, we would love to hear about it. And I'm always posting my flowers on Instagram. So,
we had that show, Global Gardens and Homes, and then people just stopped signing up. So it'd be great to revitalize that program.
Yeah, it really wouldn't be. I think you're right.
Yeah, we could have you on full time, Diane. That would be another thing. You can tell your husband, you're like, yeah, guess what? Now I'm on this show.
So like, want to be outside with the camera and everything and be pulling weeds,
Well, so Justin Merigliani, one of our team members, he and I did a live coverage at the Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday for the Take Steps Walk for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. And it's a really different experience when you're doing live broadcasting. And I think we should be doing more of it and, getting out from behind the green screen and going out into the world. So if you ever want to live stream your gardening, let me know.
I will. But, I would love to do more live streaming. And you know what I would really love to do, Dr. Jacqueline? So everybody, let us know what you think. I think it would be fun for you and I to do a road trip and we live stream it together and we oh, taste this food. Yummy, yummy. Oh, oh, look, there's a wreck. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Do we need to stop and help?
That would be hilarious. I always thought it'd be great to do a reality TV show as well.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It depends on the topic though. If you're getting a divorce, I don't think we want you.
I was just speaking, just tell you this and then we'll wrap up. I was just speaking with Janetta, our team member today, about World Jenny's Day. Mm-hmm. And as you know, I'm going to be going over there and we're going to be live streaming the event and we're looking for some co-hosts. I'm going to be reaching out to you to see if you want to be a co-anchor from wherever it is you are, interacting with me. I don't know if you're traveling, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was just speaking to my husband last night. I really want to go. Of course, I want to stay and go to Scotland after that. And the dollar signs are seeing, growing in his eyes. But that's exciting. You're going to go. I'm so happy.
It is. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to do an Airbnb and split it between a number of us. So that'll really help keep the cost down.
Oh, that will. That's awesome.
Yeah. So just as an FYI, if you're... if you have the power of persuasion, Diane. So
let's see. No, I won't say
well, it's very possible that we might have another show right after this with the guest who is supposed to be here. So I don't know. We'll see if you can make it, great. And if not, but our audience, we want you to stay around. And if our guest is Gerald, do you know who our guest is?
No, I don't. Sorry, but
okay. It's Jerry Drake. Jerry Drake is our guest for the next show coming up right after this. So, Diane, I'm going to spotlight you again. Tell people how they can reach out. And by the way, you're available for speaking?
Absolutely. Now that COVID's over, you can have me not only as a guest speaker, a guest author, but also come in the classroom and help with creative writing. I absolutely love to be with the kids. I've done it all the way from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. So that's pretty exciting. And then I also, you can reach me at diannefloydbain.com. And that's about it, Dr. Jacqueline.
All right. Thanks, Diane. And thanks for being here early as well, because I was, it's so funny. I knew I was getting an hour confused because I was walking really fast. I came back, took a shower. I'm like upstairs. I'm like, something doesn't feel right. So I messed up. So again, my apologies.
That's okay. No problem.
All right, folks, we may be coming back and we may not. I'm not sure, but either way, we'll see you again soon. We do have the film and music show today, followed by the Wise Ones, followed by Talking Heads with Red O'Loughlin. So we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.